Well, here we go again. We're going to just clamp these on real quick just to see what they're going to look like. These are cut to roughly 40 right now. They're going to get cut down when the top goes on, the final measurement. Probably going to cut about an inch off the bottoms, at least an inch off the bottoms. Put T-nuts in them and drill them out at the bottom, put T-nuts in them, and put about a 2-inch carriage bolt in the bottom that we can adjust up and down, and just so it's level when we go to a shelf. All right, so one second. This one in there, a little bit tight, but tightening that one down. I'd like to do, I come across it with this one. It just cinches it straight up and down over there. A little bit. It's not, these legs are not going to be straight when they first go on. When the bracing goes in, we'll straighten them out when the bracing goes in. But right now, just for now, going down here. That's generally what it's going to look like. It's over 40 inches off the ground for now, but it's going to get cut down a little bit, those legs, and then everything get formed up. But for now, it looks pretty good. I think I'm going to call it a night for tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning, and we'll get the top on this thing in the morning. How does that sound? That sounds good to me. Alright, so thinking about it a little bit last night, I decided that I'm going to change it up a little bit today. And I'm going to pre-drill all the holes for these legs. Since the top's off, makes it a little bit easier for me to add a clamp and make it a little easier for me to add a clamp so I can drill this out a little bit easier. So here we go. We're going to go do that. These are basically rough measurements that I'm going to use for these because it's not really that important, how level these things are. For the most part, on the front, you kind of want the symmetry so everything's close to looking like you cared about it. I'm using a 1/4 inch drill bit, and that's basically what I'm going to try to keep it at. I'm going to try to use just 1/4 inch stuff. 1/2 inch stuff, or even 3/8 is just, I mean, overkill for a modular layout. That's just going to get moved around. I'm going to try to drill this straight and true, but who knows?
All right.
And the square these legs up. So we'll show you that in a later date. This is going to be, it's going to take me a little while. I think after we get this top on, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and we're going to do a little actual modeling. I think we're going to build a couple of kits. And some of the switches. I think we're probably one of the next 2 or 3 videos is going to be me building the switches, and then after I build the switch or 2, I'm going to try to do the crossover by using a paper template. So, and if I can do it, you can do it. So have no fear. We're in this together. All right, just get a quick measurement here. I want to go about halfway. Now, in reality, these are the important ones. And I want these to be have symmetry, because you can see them from the front. Take that, come down off the top about 1 inch. All right, I don't know what happened. Didn't record the other side, but I'm going to do this side over here for you. I'm going to measure in, try to hit halfway through that beam in there, pretty much in the middle. I want to keep that very close. That's looking 1 7/8. I just give it a hash mark there. And the other side I went down 1 inch. I'm going to come over here. Mark it 1 inch. All right. On top. 7/8. So remember when I do the other side. All right. I'm going to send this puppy home. Now, you kind of really want to keep, especially because there's going to be the front piece, I believe. Pretty sure it's the front piece. I got to double check, but I think this is going to be the front. So, want to definitely keep these looking nice. Go back a little bit. They tear out. I'm ready to go send it home. These are going to get, this is going to get countersunk too. So, whatever I use here, I'm probably going to use a carriage bolt. So I might actually leave the carriage bolt proud on this side, on these, but we can figure that later. But the sides are definitely getting countersunk because they need to be countersunk. All right, so I'm gonna shut you off for a second, reset up, and then we'll come back. All right, well, we're back. All right, I got the legs off. I got it up on the bench, and I laid the top on. Little secret, not a lot of people know. You go to Home Depot, they have a damage pile somewhere in the woodworking area, and if you find a piece of wood that's damaged, a piece of plywood that's damaged, you call someone over, they can give you a discount on it. This piece is warped. The whole thing's warped, but it doesn't really matter because it's all going to get screwed down. This edge is straight, this edge is straight, and this edge is straight. So that's all that matters to me. But it's a little twisted. So there's no real, but this is the good side. The other side's a little ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to nail this down with my, there's a staple gun that I use for building frames for my beehives, and we're going to use that to just get this thing taped down real quick. Once I get it glued up, I'm going to set this edge 1/8 of an inch, well, the thickness of that piece of wood right there, off the face, because I want to try something different with this. I want to put a piece of masonite between here and the front to separate them. So if I want to do any contours in the foam, I can do it in the foam, and I'll have a nice flat front. A nice flat front on it. So when I can paint that and have the contrast between the pretty wood and the flat board up top. So let's get to it. This piece has one factory edge still left on it. That's good. So I'm just going to bring this up to the face over here. I'm doing this by feel. Not, once again, this isn't really rocket science. So I don't really have to worry about that yet. And yes, my box is a hair out of square. There's nothing you can do about it. This isn't metal. When I'm building a spaceship, it's going to work. And that's it. All right, so now that you see how we're going to line these up, now I'm actually going to go take that glue over there, and I'm going to glue this puppy on. I got GRX Uber grade fasteners, and these are 8 by 1.5. These are way too long, but that's all I got on hand, so I'm going to have to use them. All right, let's get this glue on. That piece of plywood is slightly bigger. Yeah, there's a brand new bottle, so. Oh yeah, it's open. Look at that. There's a brand new bottle of Type Bond. I don't know why. For some reason, my brain wants me to keep calling it Gold Bond. But it's Type Bond. You're definitely not powdering your cheeks with that. Well, you might, but only once. Put a decent amount on here. we're going to wipe off any type of squeeze out. Once again, if you're going to paint this and you really don't care if the plywood gets doesn't really take a good stain, then you can use Gorilla Glue. The Gorilla Glue is nice because it you put a little bead like this in here, and it's going to squeeze out. Once you get this thing screwed down, it's going to squeeze out a little bit, and it's going to expand, squeeze out. It's going to fill any gaps that are in there and keep everything nice and taut. So. All right, right now I got this table situated with the front of the table facing me and the back of the table at the camera. I just wanted to show you, that's the reason why I showed you in the beginning on how I'm going to line this up using that piece of wood. I just did this to make it easier for me to get it done quick and properly. I mean, I'm not really rushing to get this done, but this glue does have a decent amount of setup time, and I'm going to try to not really use all that setup time. I kind of want to get this on and get this top on. I got to do a little gluing and screwing in here, because, like I said, I'm going to have to use those screws to hold down most of this. I was going to use all the staplers, but apparently I'm out of staples. So I got about a half a dozen in there. It'd be enough for me to get this thing tacked in and semi-squared up. Really don't want to, I don't know, some, like I said, if you're going to paint this, you don't really care about squeeze out. But I'm not painting this. Kind of a little bit of a wood freak. I kind of like the color, like look of wood. You know, you ever been to Smithsonian? You know, a lot of their displays that they have there are actually built by people that compete for the privilege of having a having a diorama at the Smithsonian. So they kind of take a little pride in their little display thing over there and make it kind of like furniture. So I'm kind of going around a little bit on that route, but not really, because, like I said, it's not really furniture. It's a module that's going to go from show to show, bounce around. It's going to get beat up a little bit here and there, but that is what it is. I'm going to true everything up on this side and the front, and that's going to be, you know, because this piece I checked, this is square, so kind of it's going to work out. Right. So, got this corner locked in. That's a technical difficulty I wasn't expecting to have. All right. Well, after a quick investigation, it helps when you actually have the compressor hose hooked up to the drop to the basement. That works. All right. So we got these lined up. This corner is as close as it's going to get. Now, what I'm also going to do on this is I'm going to take a flush trim bit, and trim this because it is a little bit of a hangover since we did this setback. It's a little bit of a hangover, which I do. Put one here in the middle. Put this right here. So if I miss one second, throw one right here, and let's throw one right there. All right, so this side, like I said, we're a little hair out of square with this thing. That's a straight factory edge right there. That's in place. And that's the end of those. All right, so we're pretty much lined up here. And, you know, if I had more, I would have done the whole rest of them with the staple gun. But this is lined up. These edges are now square with each other. Well, as square as it's going to be. And now we're just going to drill. We're going to drill a bunch of holes. I'm going to mark. Where am I? I'm going to mark where a 16-inch marks are on here. Across as far as I can go. About a foot. And I'm just going to drop some. I'm going to drill and drop some holes, screws in it to screw this thing down. I'm going to screw the front. I'm going to screw the side, the front end, and then I'm going to work my way across and over that way. My thinking behind that is that since this board is still pretty spongy and not down, that if I screw it down as I'm screwing over, I'll push this wave out of it. I'll get this down as smooth as possible. I mean, listen, we're not building a rocket ship here, so we're gonna do it. These are six. This is 16 inches, 16 inches, 16 inches on center. So I'm gonna try cutting this in half, just eyeballing this, looking like 8, but I'm gonna have to go close to the edge because just set a 1/4 inch back. This looks to be about 8 again. About 8, good. All right. Like I said, I'm using these big bastards. They're a lot longer than what I need. But I had time and I had them in-house. Probably, I believe they make 1 inch. They might even make 1/4 inch. Not really sure. I might change out that drill bit because I'm not really happy with the way that felt like it went in. Put this on. There we go. And a clutch cutout. No. I'm gonna turn it up to 5 on this. Alright. I'm gonna go 4. And I'm gonna change out that bit to a smaller bit. So I get a little more bite in here. There, so alright. Let me do that. Change out this to a smaller bit. And I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut these, drill these in a lot shallower. So I get more in the wood. You know, like I'm saying, this is not rocket science. Something's not working, change it. Make sure your drill bit's in straight. All right. Still have some time on this glue to dry, so not really that crazy. We're going to set this down to 3. Not really concerned about these heads sticking up because there's going to be foam board over the top of this. The foam board is going to be glued down. I'm going to weigh it down too. We're going to be on there. We're going to use Tight Bond and a mastic spreader, so you get a good even coat across here. My end scale layout upstairs is actually done the same way. I used Gorilla Glue on it. That was a mistake. We're doing the foam because the Gorilla Glue expands. So any place that you had extra Gorilla Glue, kind of expands up and kind of raised up the board. I had to actually take a long board that I made with a couple of pieces of sandpaper glue to it, so I could sand the whole board down, or at least a long section of it at a time to smooth it out. I got it relatively smooth, good enough for union work at least. So it worked out. I'll do a little video on that layout. That's kind of what started me with all this. I had end scale trains, which I don't remember where I got all these end scale trains from. I believe I got them from a family member whose uncle passed away, and they just gave me what they had there. Basically, pretty much the whole layout that I got is basically some structures that were on that layout, and I scratch built a coaling trestle. That's an N scale module. That's for the Long Island N-Track Club. So I'm gonna go a little extra, I think, on this one. Put a couple extras on this end when I screw it down. set up. So let's get these down. This back should be held down, so I'm not really concerned about the glue being dried under there. All right. So let me just let me flip this around really quick. I'm reaching over this thing, trying to screw everything in. Plus, I gotta be a little more exact with this because of the hangover. It's over there, so. Whew, got a little splinter right there. So, if all three of you, any of you guys have a question, ask away. I will try to answer it in a timely and intelligent fashion. Well, at least as intelligent as I can come. So that's basically the top of this thing. You know, it's all pretty much solid. You know, any wave that's in it is basically in it. There's nothing you can really do. I'm looking down, it looks pretty flat. I was going to use 2-inch foam board on this because I have it. And I bought it at Home Depot. Like I said, it was damaged. And one of the guys that was there marked it down 25%. And it's foam board. What does it matter if it's damaged? Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little while. It's been a few days since I've been able to get down to the workshop and really do anything down here. I recorded it, but the audio came out messed up, and it came way out of focus for some reason. The camera was glitching out, zooming in and out. I guess I don't know. So what I found out was that I can't flush route the table with the screws in it. The router was hitting the screws and the screw heads, and was just becoming a problem. If you're not flush routing a table, it wouldn't have been a problem. You could have just put the foam on top of it and it'd been fine. But in the meantime, while cleaning up and getting everything put away, I found the staples, and I stapled it down, pulled the screws out. The glue had already dried. This top is solid on here. It's it's pretty good. It's not, it's as good as it's going to get, as good as it needs to be. Like I said, not building a nuclear submarine here, building a layout. So on the bottom, these two are recessed in. With most module clubs and module layouts, you have a power bus that runs across. Usually have about a foot of slack at each end, so you can plug into the module next to you, and the power just continually runs through. So there's going to be 4 eyelets here, and on the ends for those buses to drop down and to run across. This layout has that crossover I showed you that we're going to hand build. And I actually just started playing with my Fast Tracks jig and the all the Fast Track tools. I gotta admit, I'm a tool nerd. I like it. I just gotta figure out how to use it a little better. It's a little interesting. I have the dual gauge setup, the dual gauge jig, because I need the big layout that we're going to build after this puppy's all done. I need 4 dual gauge tracks, and to purchase 4 dual gauge pre-assembled dual gauge switches, it was as much money as buying all the stuff to make it myself. Now, after I'm done making those 4 gauges, 4 switches, by simply deleting the standard gauge switch stuff out of it, I can run off just narrow gauge switches, and vice versa. So it kind of makes sense. Going to purchase the other dual gauge switch jig too, so I can do a little more integration with left side track, right side track. I'm also going to buy the switch over. I think it's called a switch over for the narrow gauge jig too. Their customer service so far has been exceptional. I actually left a message on their phone, and the owner called me back within an hour and a half. You can't. How do you beat that? They're up in Canada, America's hat up there, and it's a good company. It's a great product. I mean, you'll see it when I bring it out. The jig is machined out of aluminum, and I mean it is really nice looking product, and everything else that comes with it is really good. So far, the instructions have been pretty good. I need to do a little more learning with this dual gauge one, because it's not as simple. A lot of different frogs and stuff that have to get made, and so well, you're gonna find out, because you're gonna be sitting there watching me, hopefully liking and subscribing and telling your friends. But yeah, that was that. So this is pretty much done till I put a little money aside. I bought 2-inch foam board to put on top of this. After much deliberation and looking at it and looking at what the other modules are going to be like, that's way too thick. You know, it's not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not gonna hear a sound, but it's too thick. The rigidity of this is great. Same with the slightly thinner stuff. I'm probably gonna go with either 1-inch. I gotta see what they have. 1-inch. I thought I saw a 1/2 inch or a 3/4. I might go with the 1/2 inch or 3/4 board on here, and that's gonna get glued down, and that'll definitely make this a little more rigid. I mean, this thing is, there is a little bit of twist to this, but it is what it is. It's not made out of steel. It's not welded, and it's not a nuclear submarine. So it's as good as it needs to be, and it's as good as it's going to get. I'm going to have another video short coming out, in a short video for you guys to help me choose the color I'm going to do the fascia in the sides. But in the meantime, I think we're going to build this just to switch it up a little. It's a N scale Titchy Train kit. These guys make really nice products, and I believe at one point It used to be a Long Island company, which is the deeper down the rabbit hole I go, I see that there's been a lot of model train companies that started on the island and left the state. And if you live in New York, you'll understand. You understand why. So I mean, it's a simple kit. It's it all comes in that little baggie, and the instructions are pretty simple, straightforward. There's really, it's not rocket scientist, so we'll go from there. I am gonna kit bash this a little bit. Probably, well, not probably. I'm definitely gonna put a lit interior in it. I'm going to build an interior to put inside. We'll do that too. I don't know if that's going to get done in the same video. That might be a separate video we're going to do. And if I can find one locally, because I just really don't want to buy any more stuff online that I don't have to buy online. Gotta support the local hobby shops. If not, you're not going to have them, and you're not going to be able to get the stuff that you really want. So if I can find it, I want to get a little light, put a light over the doorway, and probably that's it. This, I don't know, I might put this on my N-scale module, which I keep talking about, not showing you. I might put it on there, and then I'll do a little video on that. I'll show you the way that I attach my buildings to that module, because since it's a movable thing, and I'm going to do it to this one too. You're going to see it on this. How I attach the buildings. I make the buildings all removable, and they just basically drop in place and self-line up where they got to be. It's simple. It's really, I can't be the guy that invented this because I'm not that smart of a guy, but I never saw it there anywhere before, and it just seemed like a good idea to me to try it. I tried it using magnets, and pretty secure. But I think this is going to be my next video or two. I'm going to be building this. This is going to be on pause till I can put some money aside and buy that board. It's not cheap, but I can't really start dropping a ton of money on this real quick. It was enough that I started all the stuff I needed to do to the YouTube channel. But we're going from there. Listen, like and subscribe. Tell a friend. It helps me build this channel. Like I said, there's going to be a short video coming up where as soon as I figure out how to do it, you guys will get to vote on what color I do this fascia in. And all 10 of you, you're going to have to fight over it. But until then, this is Jack. Jack on Tracks. Catch you later.